what happened in Hammersdale a couple of weeks back. Whether or not, though, the quality of today's football will be significantly compromised by the conditions, that still remains to be seen. AmaZulu have been doing well of late. Did have a little hiccup against Kukuni 2 games ago, but that is their only defeat in the last 5, and they come up against the Cape Town City side who are winless in their last 5. Over that period, AmaZulu have gone past them in the Betway Premiership standings, and they're looking to pull even further clear. And they have an opportunity to this afternoon go all the way above Stellenbosch and into 5th, should they be able to get a victory. And let's look at how the hosts line up. They've only made a single change from the side that cantered past Magesi 3-0 results last week. Etios Iguodaro played through the pain against the Limpopo side in that game, but he's rested today after stitches in his foot reopened. So it is the Namibian Elmo Kambindu who does start today, looking to add to the 2 goals that he has managed since his mid-season arrival here at Usutu. So very familiar looking formation today. Brian Mate will run you through it.
Well, you talk about the AmaZulu formation. Of course, Kambidu will be supported by Rowan Human. There's Bongani Zungu, there's Abubakar Mubara. It is that last line of defense, which is Richard Ofori, who will be organizing that defense. Of course, that defense have got Mtetwa, who is in the center position.
Coach Arthur Zwane in sole charge of AmaZulu for the first time since joining the club, with Fusmusi Vilakazi having departed during the week. This is the side he comes up against, a Cape Town City side that sees 3 changes made from that defeat to Orlando Pirates. Lorenzo Godinho misses out through suspension, so Ziva comes in for him at the back. Kamela Mokocho drops to the bench, with Gabi Amato expected to provide a little more attacking energy in midfield. Hashim Domingo will be missed. He was injured in training this week, but Darwin Gonzalez, certainly a very capable replacement from a Cape Town City perspective.
Mokshin Etigral says they've got to pay attention to the details defensively. He's pretty happy in terms of them going forward, but they need to be clinical. Darwin Gonzalez that you've mentioned, he's very key for them on the left-hand side. It is Aprocius that pulls the strings in the midfield. It is Alfredo Ziba who is going to be leading that defense.
A legendary coach in South African football circles, a man who brought out the Zwane 2 Kaizer Chiefs ahead of the 2000-2001 season. He is delighted to be coming up against one of the many proteges that he has in South African football. Wonderful to see the two embrace prior to this game. Coach Mushin told me that he saw it all those years back, that Coach Arthur was destined to indeed become a coach. As we tell you about the officials, Marco Mosameng will be the man in charge of today's proceedings. Tumi Mohlala and Romeo Matabidi will be assisting him on the flanks. Darren Keat, ever present for Cape Town City so far this season in the league. AmaZulu have had just one ever-present player, and that is Rian Hanemob at the back, left back, in terms of having started every single game so far. There are a couple of others that have at least featured in every single Betway Premiership game this season. So we're moments away from getting started. A tie that has historically been very lopsided. When they first met, when AmaZulu ascended back to the top flight, there were a couple of wins for Cape Town City in their first 3 or so games, but AmaZulu currently on a remarkable 12 league games without defeat to Cape Town City. As Darren Keat just adjusts his boots, you can see from the studs that he's gone for something that I guess will give him just a little bit more surety underfoot. Although we have praised the drainage here, we still can't shy away from the fact that the rain has been falling heavily, and it is a little soggy out there.
Well, you can see the combination of the stats. There's a bit of steel there, just to end it much longer. That should be allowing him to have good balance.
Made several very good saves against Orlando Pirates last weekend. Keeping out Relimo King, and another long-range effort that he did very well with. As we do get underway here, AmaZulu, all the way back to Richard Afori early. He himself didn't get called upon all too often against Magesi, but at 1-0, he did keep out Delano Abraham's header point blank, tipped that over the bar, excellent, and then they went on to get a big victory in that game. So they are well set today to continue with their momentum as Bongani Zungu finds an outlet in the form of Ethan Brooks. 3 wins in succession against Cape Town City for AmaZulu as they force an early corner here. They want to keep this dominance going.
It's a good start. Put your best foot forward. You've got this man that leading that front line, Kambindu. He's got the height, he's got the skill. Wanted to provide a decent cross, good interception there to concede a corner. Cape Town City. There's pressure though in terms of having to defend. Then in swing always favors the one that's attacking it. Tricky for defenders to clear.
It is the in-swinging delivery. Rowan Heman can't make a clean connection with that. Be retrieved here by Abubakar Mubara, a man who spent several seasons at Cape Town City. Made a move from City to AmaZulu midway through the 2021-22 campaign. 2.5 seasons he spent with the Citizens. He's into his 4th now with AmaZulu. Varying levels of success as Rowan Heman can't complete the cross up against Gabi Amato. Loose ball. Seized upon by Prince Tueza. It's nudged over by Bongani Zungu. Free kick for the visitors.
His improvement in his level of fitness. Zungu having to track back, defend.
Already off the mark in AmaZulu colours, Bongani Zungu with good goal out at Magesi. Soon after his arrival, he scored just once for Mamelodi Sundowns against AmaZulu upon his return from Europe. Israel Hanamub wearing the captain's armband again. Ethan Brooks. Hanamub. One Namibian looking to supply another. Can't control that. Amul Kambindu. 2 goals already for him. Kambindu since his arrival, most recently in that 4-2 defeat to Skakuni United, but before that in the 2-2 draw with Kaizer Chiefs. Dondolo finding Chueza. Neatly done by Tetwa. Here's Tariq Filiz, another former Cape Town City man. He looks long. Scraped away by Petrus. Given away cheaply.
It's a good start for AmaZulu. The rotation of the ball looks good, getting it quicker into the danger areas. Seems to be efficient. Of course, it's a front line that is led by this man, Kambundu. He's got the height, he's got good touches as well, makes good runs, short passing game.
Toss in by Mubara for Khadebe, scored his first AmaZulu goal, indeed his first senior goal to open the scoring against Magesi last weekend after turning from TS Galaxy. He's back in the province that he knows very well, having started with the Montfort Golden Arrows reserves. Tariq Filiz gives it away, a man who spent half a dozen seasons at Cape Town City, was into his 7th before he joined AmaZulu. This is looking good for the Citizens, but can't make a clean connection there. Jaden Rhodes.
2 things. He had an option to take a shot and quicker, because when you get into the area, that particular box becomes a game of seconds. Of course, he sold the dummy to a few players, but narrowed his time in terms of having to have a proper shot. good movement though.
This is Darwin Gonzalez finding Petrus. Jaden Rhodes just needs to recapture that confidence from last season, where he was among the young player of the season contenders and was providing goals and assists regularly. Just one assist for him this campaign in the Betway Premiership, and yet to open his account in terms of goals. Darwin Gonzalez puts in a low cross, away by Phillies. Kimbindu, Zungu with the first time pass. Ethan Brooks looking for an outlet. This is Moremi. Scored a wonderful goal against Magesi. It was the second of their three. He raced clear. Mubada. Cut out en route to Hanamu by Spamandla Dondolo, will turn 22 next month. Kambindu, Zungu. Darwin Gonzalez stuck in a foot. Tetwa.
Offside.
Dondolo's going to have his hands full with Tsapang Moremi this afternoon.
Question is, I think for me, he's much more effective when he operates on the right-hand side, because that allows him to cut in and pull the trigger. Of course, now the expectation is for him to bring in the crosses, unless if he cuts inside, play little 1-2s.
That ball straight out from Ziba. Just a reminder, if you missed the beginning of the game, he is in for the suspended Lorenzo Godinho today. Accumulation of yellow cards for Godinho. He picked up his fourth of the season at the very end of that Orlando Pirates game in injury time. So Ziba, for the first time under Muhsin Ertugrul, actually starts a game. All his previous starts, with his last coming in December, had been under Eric Tinkler.
Had a conversation with him. He's always a stickler for details of the game, how the team should be synchronized in terms of moving forward. It tends to frustrate him a lot of times, and if you watch him on the bench, when some of his game plan is not executed properly.
Speaking of frustration emanating from Muhsin, he was very frustrated by some of the questions in the post-match conference after the Orlando Pirates game. Not necessarily that his credentials were being questioned, but whether or not he was still up to speed with the modern game, which he took particular exception to.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. And he's always saying, my CV is out there here.
Yep.
So whenever there's football, whether it be at the World Cup level, I'm always part of football.
Jaden Rhodes effectively dispossessed by Mubara. Coming off the best season of his career, Jaden Rhodes. This campaign struggled to get going. A few niggles, but of course still a quality player. Well, in these kind of conditions, incidents like that are probably more prone to occurring.
Listen, even if it's not these conditions, when you find a player with such skill, you are bound, if you are Abubakar Mubara, to foul that player, because it looks embarrassing to be just cancelled out like that. You don't teach those. Ask Jabu Matangu will tell you. Those are things that you would expect for those kind of players, but what is skill to cancel out the opponent? Tough customer choice, eh?
As good as it was, though, it's still not going to end as the best nutmeg of the weekend, because I think that goes, if it counts, as one to Gabe Maango before his goal. Yesterday, Bruno Gallant's shock win over Orlando Pirates, a deft touch to take it down before slotting it away, went through Sipisi's legs, did it not?
I want to see that as much as I want. I mean, the touches, the timing, the technique. under pressure as well.
Yeah. Big influence on the top of the standings. Mamelodi Sundowns having beaten Kaizer Chiefs by a goal to nil earlier in the afternoon. The pressure was on Orlando Pirates to respond. They weren't able to do that at the Free State Stadium, so an 18-point gap at the top of the table now. Orlando Pirates have 12 points to play for in terms of games in hand, as Tapang Moremi can show his pace here. Puts in a low ball. Still my profits. Khadebe has the tastes for goals after last weekend's exploits. With that one, he cracks into the shins of defending opponents.
It's the most difficult cross for defenders to deal with, but it looks like they had it covered, because look at how they're coming out to press. And Moremi, of course, operating on the left-hand side. His expectation to bring in a cross. Look at the anticipation from his teammates. Disappointed that it wasn't on target.
Gumede and Motwa watching on as Khadebe had a go. A man who actually miscued his initial attempt against Magesi and then recovered to slot away the opener. Mubara lifting in the free kick.
Offside.
Flag is up. And with the player down, the game is halted. Dondolo helped to his feet by Kambindu.
He's a big boy. Towers over everyone, very imposing physically as well.
I don't know if you heard it. I hope some of our younger viewers at home didn't. I can paraphrase Darren Keats to Kambindu. Do you know the rules? Kambindu hovering around inside the 18-yard area. Mubara to Khadebe.
It's full of energy.
Yep.
On the right-hand side, Khadebe.
Doing well again, Khadebe. Tetwa. Hanamub. Intercepted by Petrus, who got himself into trouble with a bit of a lax touch. Now AmaZulu looking to capitalize. Tapang Moremi and safely into the clutches of Darren Keats.
So far the game plan is utilize the wing play. Can I understand, because they have got a point of reference in Kambundu. On the right hand side you have Khadebe and you have Moremi.
Prince Chueza down momentarily. Ziba. Tariq Phillies deals with the danger. A cup goal for Phillies a couple seasons back in a losing cause against Orlando Pirates, but still yet to open his account for AmaZulu in the league. Not quite sure if he deems Cape Town City as the ideal opponents to do that against. What's interesting though is he did score in the league every season he was with City, as Fori lets that run, except for the very beginning of 2022-23 season, last season, where he played a couple of games for them before joining AmaZulu. But the 6 seasons he spent at the Citizens prior to that, Tariq Fili's scoring at least 1 goal in every one of those campaigns. Forward. Thumped forward. Hadebe deemed to have challenged for that, having started from an offside position. This is Nathan Fasika. Has looked really good since arriving back at his parent club. Tsepang Muremi intercepts. There's Mtetwa. From past the quarter-hour mark here at the Kings Relatini Stadium, where AmaZulu will be playing their home matches for the foreseeable future, although they do hope that come the tail end of the season, they'll have an opportunity to return to Moses Mabhida, where access control is just a little bit of an issue due to some of the scaffolding there. Turned in fields for Rowan Human, connects with Brooks. Now Zungu gives the ball away to Petrus. Gabriel Amato thumped into no man's land.
There need to be some assertiveness, and he's capable of doing that. That's Bongani Zungu gives away possession pretty cheaply in that center of the park. It's not his style.
Nicely forward from Tetwa. Oh, it's a good ball from Hanamo to the edge of the area, and Rowan Human holds his hands up in apology because he knows that was a good chance for him.
Well, it definitely is, because he makes a good run, but you've got to give it to Hanamo. Look at how he brings it back, and the timing of the run was perfect because all the defenders were ball watching. They were not aware of the late entry that he makes, that the technique lets him down. You can tell he's just wanted to side foot the ball.
Yeah. Well, Rian Hanamo has provided 4 assists. He added to that last weekend. 4 assists this season. It's only Rowan Human, the man he was looking to set up, that has more assists for AmaZulu in the Betway Premiership this season, with 5 in total.
Such a durable athlete.
Yeah.
Hanamo makes those runs all the time. Perfect deliveries.
Prince Jueza limping a little. Sure, he will want to just run that off. So many Namibians out there this afternoon. We're just talking about Hanamo, Jueza, Kambindu, Petrus. Decent ball in, and Teto had to be particularly alert with Fasika pinned to him. The decision goes in favor of AmaZulu.
It's going to be that sort of battle.
Sandile Mtetwa wasn't getting game time, and Orlando Pirates has made this move to AmaZulu. Seems to be working out quite well for him at the moment. Hero in their opening cup obligation, although they are now out of the Nedbank Cup, fell to Marumo Gallants just after beating them in the league.
Do you think he blames it on Koki being the regulator squad at that position?
Tapela Koki has scored in this fixture before in what was the biggest ever victory for AmaZulu, as Cape Town City looked to conjure a chance. Foul on Rowan Human.
Yumba trying to plead his case, saying, I didn't touch him. Did he touch him? I didn't think he touched him, personally. But hey, players are good actors, and the referee was a little bit too far from the exit. Did he? I don't think he did.
Brooks. Nyama doing really well for Cape Town City. Look to set Caden Francis on his way. He is lightning quick. His cross will be retrieved on the opposite side by Jaden Rhodes. Those two exchanging passes. Not on purpose, I suspect, as Richard Afori grabs hold of Caden Francis's cross. And he's quickly tossed it out to Tsapang Muremi, who has some space to exploit. Taking on Nondolo. Kabindu! That's his third for AmaZulu. What an acquisition he's been. But credit there to Tsapang Muremi. It's his 7th goal contribution of the season. And AmaZulu hit the front against a side they truly love facing.
I would say he's got two options when he's playing on the right-hand side. He cuts in, there's potential for a goal, Muremi, but he's on the wide side, on the left-hand side, and he's patient enough to look up as well to see Kabindu. He had to do some work as well. Kabindu had to time his run in anticipation of a good quality pass, and he does get that. When it comes through, he is ready. He's aligned with the defense. There is no question mark in terms of possibilities of an offside, and he just stretches his foot. What a beautiful goal. Well worked, good delivery, and made it look easy. But there's quality in that entire finishing.
Oh, Muremi exploited that space so well. It's a ball out from Richard Afori, who grabbed hold of Francis's cross and immediately set Muremi on his way. And 7 goal contributions, 2 goals, and now his 5th assist in the Betway Premiership. He goes level with Rowan Human as AmaZulu's best assist maker this campaign. This is Jaden Rhodes now for Cape Town City. Prince Tueza. Not a tight enough touch. Abubakar Mupara is across to clear.
It's such an open game, played at a good tempo, good initiatives, good rotation of the ball. Just have to be clinical. It's all about the details, as they say, coaches, at the end of the day.
Well, we saw last night the only goalless game of the weekend. Richards Bay hosting Chipper United on a Saturday where in the 4 games prior, the home team had won without conceding in each of those 4 matches. Yet to see an away victory this weekend. It started on Friday night. Stellenbosch against Polokwane City. Stellenbosch scoring late through Cupido in injury time to draw that match 1-1. This is Rowan Human. Kambindu. Human. Zungu. Rowan Human. Looking for Hanamo. Tondolo gets his head on it. This is Jaden Rhodes given away cheaply to Brooks. Hanamo felt the tug, stayed up. Tetwa. Zungu. There have been goals now in the last 6 meetings between these two sides, and AmaZulu have scored in each of those last half dozen games. Do Cape Town City have an answer? Have not beaten AmaZulu in the league for over 6 years, not since late in 2018. As Tariq Phillies makes a good challenge on Caden Francis, clean. Brooks now. Francis tracking back. His attempt to win it is deemed illegal.
What is he not happy with?
I think perhaps the challenge, because it looked pretty good.
It's a very good challenge for me. Especially for those type of challenges, you've got to get it right. And he gets it right. I didn't think that was a foul at all.
Yeah, so in disagreement about the decision is City's coach. Nice turn. And a good ball dispensed into the path here of Hanamo. Looking for Kambindu, dealt with by Fasika. It was Moremi who made that bursting run through the middle. It just hung back, edge of the area, maybe hoping that that's where he'd be found by Hanamo. Now Mtetwa not able to intervene successfully. City with a chance, blocked en route to goal. Darwin Gonzalez with the shot. AmaZulu, their lead remains intact.
There's possibilities. It's such an open game that this one is anticipating more goals, because if you look at how vulnerable AmaZulu can be at the back, bailed out, of course, the ball did not go in, but they're still vulnerable defensively.
Kambindu drops a little bit deeper to involve himself. Human for Moremi. He's only able to get a toe on that. A real power behind the shot, a good movement from AmaZulu.
Variation as well, because where he finds himself, Moremi, it became a tight area, relied on the toe poke. Didn't work out. Bindu is applauding that effort.
Defensive job done by Nyama. In terms of outfield players, no one has started more games than Nyama. It's his 18th start today as Caden Francis. Again, utilizing his pace on that left-hand side, the delivery not the best.
The player down.
Yeah.
Cape Town City.
So, some attention required for Tsikgafasa Nyama. Get another opportunity to look at how close Cape Town City came. Prince Tueza, it's a good setup for Gonzalez, but credit to Mubarak.
Well set up. Credit to Mubarak. Uses his experience and anticipation, of course, to see the danger. Blocks it out. Gets the applaud.
Darwin Gonzalez looking for that bottom corner. I think that's where the shot was headed. Critical block from the former City man. Natazwane in conversation with the goal scorer. Likes what he's seen from him so far. And there's the thumbs up. A very welcome thumbs up from a City perspective. And they left back. Tsikgafasa Nyama.
In case something happens, they have a number 9. Just understands, in case something happens. So far, so good, but in case. Dynamite come in smaller packages. There he is, ready, well kitted. To be revealed his name when he comes on.
Moremi always seems to be in space. Hanamo. Mtetwa. Identifies an opportunity to just move forward with the ball at feet and can't find Moremi At that drilled pass, this is Jaden Rhodes for City. Amato. Caden Francis controls it the second time of asking, but Mubara seems to have his number today.
You look at his physique, but how tough he is as a defender.
Yeah.
Abubakar Mubara.
Seized upon by Brooks. Into space for Hanamob. Can't successfully locate Muremi. Continues to apply the pressure on Dondolo. AmaZulu, I'm sure, will be cautious now with this lead, because they have dropped 8 points from winning positions this season, third most of any team in the Betway Premiership. Mubara again resuming that battle with Francis. Nothing wrong with the challenge according to the referee.
He's always up for battles. Depends on the role that he's playing, of course. This afternoon, more defense. Put him in the midfield, he can add to the creativity.
Just as a point of interest, Brian, the leads that AmaZulu have had this season that they've far too regularly relinquished, had they held on in those games, it would not be 7th on the standings, but rather 3rd. Can move to 5th today. It would go above Stellenbosch if things continue as they are.
And you speak, and suddenly Cape Town scored, and Cape Town City scores, and you say, see, commentator's case now. But of course, that's always the problem. When you lead, you've got to, there's elements of the game that you've got to embrace in terms of the concentration, the complacency that might creep in, and how
he won't let complacency creep in.
No, he's
that's
not.
for sure. He doesn't have the best record against Cape Town City, though. Arthur Zwane, the season he was in charge of Chiefs, 2022-23, as the ball over the top finds Gonzalez, who can't find the back of the net. He would have been offside anyway. He was offside, in fact, wouldn't have counted.
He's applauding the opportunity. Of course, he didn't time that run, but he applauds the supply. He's pulled off too early.
Arthur Zwane was micromanaging the defensive line in that particular instance. But that season he was in charge of Chiefs, lost both games to Cape Town City. 2-0 away, 1-0 at home, 2022-23. As Hadebe receives here from Rowan Human. Zungu stabbing it through. Followed by Petrus. Caden Francis now. Amato. Amato appealing that he was pushed as he delivered that ball. And straight out off his boot. So just over 10 minutes remaining here of the first half. The scoreline, as it was and as it finished, the last two meetings between these two sides earlier this season, Hendrik Ekstein scoring in the first half, 1-0 win, and in their second meeting of last season, Junior Dion, now on loan with Marumo Gallants, scored with about 20 minutes remaining in a match where Cape Town City had been reduced to 10 for most of proceedings. Kiana Cupido, now at Sundowns, sent off midway through the first half. Low scoring affairs, those last two games, although this is a fixture that traditionally produces a lot of goals. First meeting of last season ended 3-2 in favor of AmaZulu. And Cape Town City were in fact 2-1 up at one point. They came from behind. Gumedo is on the bench today, opened the scoring. Kanisa Mayo and Tsekafasa Nyama either side of the half, putting them 2-1 up, and then Junior Dion, who's been prolific in this tie, scoring 2 late goals to win it for AmaZulu. This is Ziba. Fasika. Rhodes, Dondolo. Fasika. Just can't work their way through at the moment. This looks more promising though. Rhodes dispossessed by Brooks. Doesn't have an outlet at the moment. Just turns it over to Bongani Zungu, finding Human.
I think he's enjoying his football. Zungu, alongside Brooks, supported by Human. Got so much time on the ball. He creates a space. It just looks so easy when he does it, but it's because of he reads the game so well and he positions himself as well. So it becomes an option. You can go forward. If you have a problem, just look up. I'm always giving you support.
Fasika cracks that into Hanamub. Now Cape Town City have an opportunity. Francis. Phillies did his best to intervene. It's still with the visitors. Amato. I don't know who he saw.
I don't know either. Wasted opportunity. I thought he could have gone for glory himself.
Yeah. He has that capability.
He does. Maybe not so confident to try and take it with his right foot. That's why he pushed it.
Oh, look at this. Khandebe beaten to the ball by Ziba, who turns 26 next month. This is the only Bedway Premiership match on the go at the moment, but there is that catch-up game in the Nedbank Cup that actually kicked off at 3 o'clock, so it's already into the second half. And Skakuni United, having gone 2-0 up, have had their lead reduced by Milford, who are at home. This game being played at the Princess Magogo Stadium. So 2-1 at the moment in that match to determine who will face Mamelodi Sundowns in the quarterfinals. They're coming in a week's time.
You know, the fans on a Sunday, they're talking about, if you talk about Nedbank, they say we are the defending champions, and that will be Pirates will be saying that. It's another exciting. AmaZulu have just prepared just to sit behind the ball, watch AmaZulu, watch Cape Town City just playing in front of them, keeping the shape.
Ziba. Yama. It's Gonzalez. Foul from Mubara. He's been very busy. Most touches of any player out on the park today, Abubakar Mubara.
If there's a weakness on his game, he's not the most patient passer. Because I'm looking at the foul that he commits. There's no danger there.
Yama. He's a recipient of 2 ill-timed challenges in succession. Inyama, though, is the player to have attempted the most tackles over the course of the minutes that have elapsed so far today.
That's the frustration. I understand what they mean. When you deal with such skillful players, you don't know his next movement. Even though he gets the ball, but it's based on illegal means because it's a challenge from behind. Right on the cuff.
Yeah.
There's two things. There's ice that you can put there. There's also the magic spray. You know the magic spray? You just spray it and suddenly you're up and running.
Musin did have his Jose Mourinho moment in last weekend's press conference. Just, I guess, reminding the media of his credentials and his 7 titles in South Africa, 5 of them that he won with this man, Arthur Zwane.
Thinks extremely highly, very proud of
Yeah.
Arthur Zwane, his achievement as a coach, and also having been part of his career in terms of coaching him.
And although he did speak in a pre-match interview with Lerato about the extra training that Coach Arthur Zwane used to do with South African athletes, as Hanamov gets his cross wrong, and the 800-meter training that he used to do, what he didn't mention is that he had been told by those that Coach Zwane was training with that had he dedicated his time, or more of his time, to that particular discipline, that he could have been a champion, a South African champion, over the 800-meter distance.
The physique still allows him. I'm sure he can
Probably
go for
now,
it
yeah.
Yeah, he was such an athlete. I mean, based on his role, you understand why
Sure.
he spent so much time on the right-hand side, and quality crosses. He used to vary those crosses.
Khadebe. Human. Oh, does get the cross in, but no one in green latches onto it. Khadebe, though, he gets an opportunity to play one in. Kabindu rises highest, but just couldn't get over the ball.
High enough to bring it down. Quality in terms of bringing the cross. Concern defensively on the side of AmaZulu, not to tighten up these areas. We've seen crosses on the left-hand side with Hanamut, crosses on the right-hand side, and not so convincing in terms of clearing their lines. There was anticipation on the bench. He's got the height.
Seconds of regulation time remaining in this first half. Cape Town City with a free kick. Rhodes. Ofori challenging unsuccessfully for that, but Tetra gets his head to it. Retrieved by Amato. Easy for Ofori. Straight upfield. Chance here for AmaZulu. Looking to go it alone. Sapang Muremi.
Chose to be selfish, but he had 2 options.
Yeah. Now Chiweza receiving from Rhodes. Still Prince Chiweza. Bungani Zungu claims he got the ball. Referee Michael Mosimeng does not agree. Free kick in a great area here for City.
It's more of a quick counter-attack. Is he trying to point an area where he thinks he committed the foul? Still trying to plead his case. Good control.
Oh,
Keeps him, yes.
Definitely.
Looks dangerous. That's not like him to commit to such attack. He always want to play clean.
Now, courts in real time. Conclusive evidence.
We've got it. In case you want to see it, I've got it. It's a sign that his level of fitness is improving.
Nyama. Oh, you can see the intention there. Off-throwing human in the wall. They did it. They did their job, although they did break away a little bit.
I think that it's human that blocked that ball. He had to jump high.
Yeah. Whipped in by Rhodes. Now the referee had already ruled against the attacking side before Fasika got his head to it.
There's a bit of a weakness in terms of positioning of Ofori. He has tendencies of being hesitant in terms of coming out. And I think at some point he'll get punished. They always say when you commit as a keeper to come out, don't stop. Just go full blast, because if you don't, something is going to happen. But I guess we can verify that from the chairman of the Goalkeepers Association, right?
Of course.
Cool cat, Shongwe.
So that's it for the first half. AmaZulu have the lead, courtesy of Amukambindu. They have not lost to Cape Town City for over 6 years. Musin Ertugrul trying to stop this poor run that his side are on. They've lost their last 3 games. They conceded 6 and scored just 1 over that period. But they haven't been without chances. Abubakar Mubala, though, has thwarted many of the opportunities that they have conjured, especially on that left-hand side for Cape Town City. He's been on top of Caden Francis, but they certainly have an opportunity to come back into this one. So after 45 minutes, just a goal separating these two sides at a sodden Kings Villatini Stadium. AmaZulu in the lead, 1-0.
Right now, see we kept on feet, so in the journey. That is our DJ in 5, 4, 3, That's why we are leading by a goal to him. Hopefully, sizobuka amanye amagoli ezayo. Wena uthanda ukuthi bakhona amagoli mangaphi?
Njengamanje ngilindele amaphuzu awu-3 bese ngiyagoqula futhi ivaleni bafana.
Shaya ibaleni bafana athi ngizokubiza ku-small. Small, wena uthini ufuna bakhona amagoli mangaphi abafana? Kodwa DJ 3D usho njalo small kwisadlula bafana. Yeah. Engathi ama-securities awakhona. Sis. Sodela. Ufuna sile amagoli mangaphi? 3D! Awukani uphinda obe bakithi. Uphambi kwalo usapotha thina bafethu. DJ woza.
Conditions underfoot, far from ideal here at the King Zwelithini Stadium as we welcome you back to this Betway Premiership encounter between AmaZulu and Cape Town City. It's the hosts, though, who have overcome the circumstances best. They have a solitary goal scored by Amukam Bindu after a superb assist from Tsapang Moremi. Lamini ready as always to get the fans behind their team. And we are ready for the restart here in Umlazi as AmaZulu get us back up and running here against a Cape Town City team that they have been getting the better of year after year. Did the double over them last season. It's the first time that either side have managed the double. They're looking for another. There's an early incident here with Gabi Amato shown a yellow card. Here's the all-time challenge.
That's a solid challenge. We say it's a 50-50 ball. Who is stronger to go for it? Sometimes you go overboard in terms of showing the stats. And this is what we're talking about. And these are two players that have got that capability to go 50-50. You wouldn't think that Brooks will come out a weaker one, but yeah, that happens. In the dressing room, immediately after the coach has said something. What's the common thing they say, players? Come on, boys, we can do it. Both sets of players.
Kadebe dispossessed for receiving that, which is a resultant free kick. Now, Cape Town City getting forward on the left-hand flank. Back with the hosts. Rowan Human. As Tariq Phillies scored the opener the last time Cape Town City beat AmaZulu. It was October of 2018, 3-0 win for them. That cross finds its way to Moremi. It's away initially from Amato, now Brooks. Don Gonzalez. Quickly to Francis. Rhodes returns it to Francis. Just behind him, though. AmaZulu recover.
And then they give it to the conductor of the orchestra. And that's Zungu that controls the tempo, rotates the ball. Still becomes an option if you can't do anything up front.
Looking good. That's, that cross cuts out. Well, currently the scoreline 1-0. It is the most common scoreline in across the 15 meetings between these two sides. It's occurred on 5 occasions. AmaZulu have won by 1-0 over Cape Town City 4 times. And 7 of their 9 previous wins have been by just a single goal margin. So take from that what you will. Only times they've won by more than a solitary goal. The 5-1 away win in the 2020-21 season. Behind closed doors and 2-0 home win in that the following campaign.
Sure, Coach Musheni would have encouraged his players to up the tempo a little bit to try and unsettle AmaZulu. But so far, it has been the hosts themselves who are bossing possession.
Yeah. Trying perhaps to banish memories of the last time that they played a side from the Western Cape, AmaZulu. They beat Cape Town City earlier this season, then they lost 5-0 to Stellenbosch. In fact, that was perhaps a catalyst for more home success because they've won their last 3 home games since losing by their 5-0 margin to Stellenbosch late in January. It's the first time they've won three successive home games since the 2020-21 season, and they managed 4 in a row. Good aiming. Here's Rowan Newman. Space for Hadebe. Drives towards the byline. Drills in a low cross. Forces the corner.
He forces matters. Had to improvise a very tight angle, but he still brings in the cross full of energy. Tight control of the ball. There is pride in wearing that jersey and carrying that same name. Hadebe, the legendary Achijuluka Hadebe, operated on the left-hand side. Deadly at some point for the longest period for AmaZulu.
Second corner of the game for the hosts. Still not away by Cape Town City. Well, they were thinking perhaps that there would be another to come, but it is not the case. Darren Keat impeded. Jaden Rhodes. That's a nice ball for Francis. Caden Francis trapped here by Hanamub. And a deflection off the Namibian means it's Cape Town City's opportunity from a set piece.
I also think they need to start varying how they play the crosses, because it becomes predictable when you go down the line and you want to play it that straight. Pulling it back when you have the options, although it's the second best option, because defenders at the time are focusing on the near post.
Well, it's not an area they're particularly good from, Cape Town City. They are yet to score from a corner this season. They are the only team in the Betway Premiership who haven't netted a corner. They only have one-headed goal across the entire campaign. Let's see what they can make of this. In by Petrus. Pasika challenging for it, and he's absolutely clattered Afori. It requires, according to the referee, immediate attention. Pasika pleading his innocence. Afori appears to be in a degree of discomfort.
They say as a goalkeeper, sometimes you've got to be able to protect yourself. And sometimes it's a risk that you're going to take. It's a late challenge. Yeah, that looks dangerous. Distance. What's this? Both players focused on the ball. They clashed aerially. Hope it's not something too serious.
But he was late, and as a result, goes into the referee's book. That's Pasika.
He doesn't see anything wrong. He believes that we were great challenge, but he was a couple of seconds late. The referee had already played the ball. He was late.
Yeah.
Very late.
So still receiving treatment here is Richard Afori. Get another opportunity to look at the goal that separates these two. Great anticipation from Kambindu to go sliding into the back post.
That's striker's instinct. He was ready, he had aligned himself, expecting any possibility. And he does well.
Now 5th place potentially on the horizon for AmaZulu, and the fans will welcome that, considering the kind of start that this team made under Pablo Franco without getting a victory. Turn things around under coach Arthur Zwane, and Vusumuzi Vilakazi, now no longer part of the coaching setup, but made his contribution to the club as a Fori. I think receiving now the final elements of the patch-up job that they're doing on him.
They need to tape him. I think that maybe there was a cut.
Really Motua available if Ofori can't continue. Motua was last in goal for the 5-0 defeat to Stellenbosch. A dark day as far as AmaZulu are concerned, especially considering that they suffered that defeat at home. But Ofori looks like he will be able to continue now. Man is hoping to keep what would be his 3rd clean sheet in 4 league matches. So finally back underway. Successive clean sheets in home matches in the league, by the way, for AmaZulu. So on course to keep 3 clean sheets at home in succession for the first time since August of 2023. They can continue to shut out Cape Town City. And with Amu Kambindu's goal, by the way, they've scored now 6 league games in a row across the same season for the first time since January and February of 2023, when they managed to score in 7 games running. Things are coming right from an AmaZulu perspective. As I said, still the hiccups here and there, the defeat away to Sekhukhune last month would certainly count amongst those little road bumps, speed humps, but not unexpected. Of course, and Sekhukhune United, they themselves every now and again have a hiccup, but on their day are extremely good.
I mean, the biggest frustration for coach is when the team is doing well, there's always this message at the back of the mind to say, how are they going to sustain this?
Kadebe did so well to stay on his feet. Now, can he deliver that telling cross? Held on to it, perhaps just a touch too long, dispossessed by Prince Tueza.
Definitely not a foul.
Yeah. Coach Machine, the 10th league game in charge of City today. They've picked up just 10 of a possible 27 points under him so far. And all 10 of those points have been won at home. Their away record has been, prior to his arrival, since his arrival, fairly dismal. They've lost their last 4 away games in succession. Their last and only away win this season, it came over Chippy United. That was midway through December. They've actually scored in only one of their last 4 away matches, so tough ask against a tricky AmaZulu sides this afternoon. Lost 4 matches at the beginning of the season as well, successive. So this is actually the second time that they have been defeated 4 away games in a row. But the kicker here, if nothing changes today, it will be the first time since they came to the top flight in 16-17 that Cape Town City have lost 5 away matches in succession. So I'm sure they'll be wanting to avoid that piece of unwanted history. Anamub, Kambindu, Zungu. Now this is Brooks. Hanamub's ball in, repelled by Fasika.
I like how they're rotating the ball. My only concern is that you have a Kambindu that God comes deeper and he engages in the first touch, but he gets into the box. And I think they should capitalize on that and play more of the long balls into the box.
Petrus is off, a man who on occasion this season has operated as a centre half and a more mobile and forward-thinking Tabo Notata is on in his place.
He's got the capacity, the capabilities to change the game. Good day. Notata just been unlucky with injuries and that.
Tossed in by Hanamub. Well challenged for. Oh, that's brilliant from the long throw. And AmaZulu have their second. Khadebe scores in successive games.
Yes. They had to do that. And it's a set piece, a throw in. They get it right. They've got the ammunition. Played with aggression. It's not just goal based on open play. It's using the ammunition, the arsenal that you have in the team. He is good at taking players on. Did we know that he's also good aerially to be able to convert? If we didn't know, now we know. Look at it, it's a throw in. It takes a flick, 2 flicks, and the third one becomes you know, the finish. First, second, third, it is a goal. It is 2-0. And continue to pile on the pressure. And it is paying off in the early stages of the second half. No chance for Darren Kitt and his defense. It is AmaZulu in the front. They are leading.
Well, Tapang Moremi gets his second assist of the afternoon. So he is now level with Roman Human in terms of goal contributions for AmaZulu this season. That is his 8th. Tapang Moremi, 2 goals, 6 assists. And he's in fact now contributed to a goal in 5 successive games.
Earlier
Very
on.
impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. I met up with the boss, Mr. Zungu, the president, and he said, we are in the lead. I said to him, the challenge is to defend the lead now because we're going to the second half. I need to see him after this. If they've won, he'll say, I told you. Of course, the mindset is clear, it's right. Haven't taken the foot off the pedal. I've got the second goal. But you know 2-0 is not the safest score,
Sure.
right?
Well, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns peerless at the moment in terms of everything, getting the job done with wins, scoring, keeping clean sheets. But AmaZulu, in recent times, very impressive. They've scored the last 6 league games running, 13 goals in that run. So they are definitely a team to watch whenever they're on your screen. A side that are making things happen and inching closer to a victory that would take them into 5th place. Tetra just wanted to get something on there, but it's still broken here for Prince Tueza. His cross not the most effective. Tariq Philis challenging Jaden Rhodes for that. Rhodes has stayed down. Referee unmoved by the appeals.
Is a player down? Is it that serious? Maybe not. Is he going to give it attention? Yes, he does. The fact that AmaZulu has scored in the early stages of the second half, I can tell you the conversation in the dressing room would have been Coach Arthur warning his players to say, don't take the foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
And they're about to consolidate things in the midfield. It is Ben Mutswari. It is Human that will come off.
Well, Arduzani making a change. It will just add a little bit more stability to the midfield. Gone now is their need to constantly threaten Cape Town City, since they do have the cushion. Here's Mutswari's first touch. Zungu. Here for Kambindu. This is Ziba. Nyama. No Dada. Cut out by Phillies. Brooks keeps the ball alive for AmaZulu. Khadebe loses it to Rhodes. Straight through the middle where Darwin Gonzalez was offside.
They've got to do more of this. Try and play it quicker, try and unlock and test that AmaZulu defense, which I personally think that they haven't been tested. That's far.
AmaZulu last weekend netted 3 unanswered goals against Magesi. That was their biggest win of the season so far. In fact, their biggest league win since managing the same scoreline over Royal AM December of 2023, as we see a huge moment here, just not only for Cape Town City, but for South African football, as a 16-year-old Emile Witbooi comes onto the field to earn his first taste of senior football. His father scored in this time many years ago against AmaZulu. Perhaps he can do the same on his debut. Fortune Makaringe arriving as well. Kambindu helped to his feet.
Shane Etogral, when you talk about young players, that young, he calls them the agents.
Yeah.
Chickens.
Well, he's rung the changes. So let's see what they can do. Here is Boy. First involvement for him. Sepang Muremi, who's at this point in the game emerged as the standout player with his 2 assists, dispossesses him. Good boy involved again. Can't link up with Dondolo. Tet. Fori finding Mubada. Brooks. Ethan Brooks with the early cross. Plucked out of the air by Darren Keats. Tricky circumstances here. As Nodada can't link up with Dondolo.
Just have to accept themselves and start building up some form of rhythm and control of the game. At this stage, they're going through the motions, I think. Try and conjure something.
And they have such a tricky test coming up midweek when they play host to TS Galaxy, although it's at home where at least they've been a lot better than on the road. TS Galaxy full of confidence at the moment. A side that have overcome their own slump. AmaZulu saw the Rockets go above them yesterday, but they can usurp them once again if they hold on here. TS Galaxy 2-0 winners over Lamont for Golden Arrows. Keegan Dolly with an absolute cracker early on in that game. Pusati Tijani making it safe late on. His second goal since scoring against AmaZulu.
When he plays that well in his kasi, they say double dolly.
Yeah.
Things have gone well. He's sharp.
Well,
good touches. He's such a quality.
His goal yesterday was special. From a mile out.
That's him.
That is him, yep.
Good technique, power on that left foot.
Pounced upon by Rhodes. I think the referee might have spotted that off the ball incident. He says play on. Here's Darwin Gonzalez. Back with Gonzalez. Safari gets gloves on it well. And Zungu sitting Moremi on his way. Can he exploit the space once again? Sepang Moremi hangs it up. It's actually a good cross, but well anticipated by Darren Keats.
I like how there's a rapport between these players. You're talking about a ball going down the line and who is the option. Oh. That's Gambindu. But then they have to defend. So far, the last line of defense is doing well for AmaZulu. Ofori. Maritzburg will claim him. Orlando Pirates will say he was part of our books. AmaZulu, they say, well, that's history. He's with us now.
Rhodes looking for Tueza. Asking a little too much of him.
He's got so much energy, the ability to take players on. But he plays in patches, and I don't think they've engaged him that much. On his right-hand side.
It's back to Ofori. He's managed here to find Khadebe, who in turn picks out Mubada. Moremi hunting for a hat-trick of assists. Or perhaps he's going for goal. Moremi, his shot blocked.
You can't be adding more seconds when you get into that area. At some point, you've got to play that early. When you do that, you're encouraging numbers to come and block your path. And that's exactly what happens. In the first half, he was more on the left-hand side. He's more on the right-hand side, which I think suits him better to try and get some shots on goals. Moremi.
Tetwa coming across. Dondolo intercepts. Nodada. Nyama. Then Rhodes. Makarenge. Rhodes goes for it. Always rising. Are we into the period now where AmaZulu have been a little susceptible to conceding goals? The final 15 minutes of matches, they have conceded 8 this season. That's the most in the league, jointly, along with Marumo Gallants. But it won't particularly encourage Musin Etendrol if he knows that, because Cape Town City, over this final quarter hour of matches, have only scored once. As the hosts make another change here. Bongani Zungu makes way for Hendrik Ekstien. He was the match winner the last time these two sides met.
Still work in progress in terms of his fitness, but his touch is still elegant. He makes it look so easy in that midfield. Zungu, but it's time to graft now. Defend their lead.
Afori dinked into midfield where he expertly finds Mutswari. Ekstien. Now Brooks. Tetwa. This pass forward cut out. It's Hendrik Ekstien has picked it up once again for the hosts. Khadebe can't slide it through for Moremi. Mubara. Ekstien. Mutswari holding on to the ball well.
That's good game plan in terms of the stuff that Coach Atazwani has made to try and consolidate the midfield. His experienced players there in Ben Mutswari.
Coach Atazwani, always a character on the touchline. Lives and breathes the game. Kicks every ball with his players. Ethan Brooks to Phillies. AmaZulu moving it around neatly without much pressure. Across, away by Ziba.
The positive is that once they've lost with AmaZulu, they want to win it back as quick as possible.
Rian Anamub runs away from the scene of the crime, but today's skipper will indeed be booked.
He's not going to survive this one. He's not going to escape this.
Foul on his countryman.
His fellow countryman is probably watching.
So, for the first time this season, Rian Anamub will have to sit out a league match. AmaZulu go away to SuperSport United. This coming week, he won't be present. Now an opportunity. Good boy. Still has it. Looking to set up a teammate. Could make for a great finish. And he has forced a corner. I did say his father scored in this tie back in early 2020 in a 2-0 win, or 2-2 draw rather. A game in which Surprise Khalani opened the scoring. Roland Putse made it 2-0, and then the late Bongin Tuli hit a brace for a 2-all scoreline before he claims
Easy catch for him. By himself on the team, a couple of seconds. I call it game management, right? Not in a rush, leading 2-0.
Tetra. Mondolo. Ah, didn't play to the whistle. Here's Moremi. This time can't pick out his man.
That's good work ethic to win the ball, go down the line, bring it across. He's really grafted. You find him on the left-hand side this time around. When they started second half, he was on the right-hand side.
Brooks. Oh, almost ends up at the feet of Moremi. Phillies goes sliding in. Referee says play on. Picked up here by Good Boy. Just waiting for some reinforcements to arrive. Fortune Makeringe. Nodada. Prince Tueza. Nodada gliding past Extian. Picks his pocket from behind. Mutswari to Mubara. Moremi. Brooks.
He's been solid, Brooks, in that midfield, covering for defense, adding value when they are attacking.
Now Kambimbi. Extian. Ups against the cross initially, does Khadebe. So, there'll be a change made here with Darwin Gonzalez making way for Kevin Siretsi, who's appearing for the 10th time this season. 8 of those appearances, including today, have been off the bench.
Is a big task. Based on your performance, can we bounce back? Take us to heaven. Make sure that we lift our performance. I think they played with the same tempo, and for me, that's a bit of an easy thing for AmaZulu to deal with. They haven't intensified their approach. It's still the same tempo, which I think AmaZulu have dealt with ease.
AmaZulu are preparing some changes. I would imagine whether or not he was originally part of them, Tsepang Moremi will now be withdrawn, which is the case. Andiso Sitole has scored off the bench against Magesi, put the finishing touch on a beautiful team goal to win 3-0 last weekend. Is one of those making way. Rian Hanamub on a yellow card. He'll be missing the match against SuperSport United, so an opportunity here for Kubeni to get some minutes. As he will have to play in the upcoming match. And then Boniface Haba, as he did in the previous match, coming off the bench, continue making way. Referee calls them back. Hendrik Exton is looking to get on the move.
It's not working out, not as fluid as they're supposed to be. Cape Town City having asserted themselves in this game.
Boniface Haba, opportunity for him, goes down in stages, but Ziba did win the ball.
And it wasn't a foul. Might have landed awkward. We'll have a look at it again, but from where we are, it just didn't look like a foul. Something to do with the rib cage or the hip. What happens here? 50-50, wins the ball. There's a trailing leg when you look at it on the left-hand side. That left catches him, but I'm not too sure if it's enough contact to convince the referee that that was a foul. But then again, he holds the hip. Haba. I think so, right?
Yeah, I reckon he should be okay to continue. The Ghanaian. Boniface Haba was playing out in Morocco before joining AmaZulu. There's Rhodes. Dondolo gets the return from Bitboy. I thought he kept that in, but first assistant, Timmy McLeod, disagrees.
Is it a question of the entire circumference, that kind of English?
Ask Sipo Chain.
You started.
Brooks down under the challenge. Bitboy showing the combative edge to his game.
Yeah, that's what you do when as a youngster. Register your presence.
Treza. The cross just holds the ball up. It is still in play. Rhodes. Oh, he's really pinged that in, and whilst Treza did get his head on it, he was well set.
But he's not he's complaining to his teammate. I'm not too sure what he's complaining about. The delivery was there. Perhaps he didn't expect it to come that high, maybe on the ground. The mood is good. The belief is there.
Well, not only are their team getting results, but I think from a fan's perspective, playing football that is easy on the eye.
Yeah, it is. Has been. There are certain elements they need to improve on, but you can tell those players who are pretty settled, confident on the ball, aggressive in certain areas, and they scored early. I mean, for me, the fact that they asserted themselves and managed to get a goal, the challenge has been to defend their lead. Coming back again, and managed to increase that lead.
And you start to wonder to yourself, what will an AmaZulu with a full pre-season under the Zwane look like next season, especially if he gets to run the rule over the recruits, the kind of players that he wants to deploy week in, week out. And the fact that he's improving many of the players who are already at the club, as Cape Town City through Sinetsi look to make this an interesting finish. Corner.
Given the opportunity and the proper guidance, Sinetsi has got so much quality in him.
They're taking the corner quickly. Ben Mutswari gets it away. Hendrik X has stolen it. Oh, what a cutout from Nodada, because Haba was on his way. Makaringe, there's still hope here for City. They've entered into 5 additional minutes. Siretsi, hit boy. Ethan Brooks won it and promptly gave it back. They need that delivery though. Hit boy, wonderful skill. Siretsi. Now Prince Tueza. He's just trying to keep it alive, and he did find Nodada. Tueza, Siretsi, Tariq Phillies stretches every sinew to get that header clear. Now Ndiso Sitoli has found Haba. Siba did just about enough.
I remember this name, Vet Boy. So much talent, very brave.
Good ball through here for Tueza. Wasted opportunity.
They are not happy. They know that they haven't been playing their best game. They're only trying to raise their game now. Doesn't need any preseason. He's ready all the time. Every time he comes here, he's ready.
Benny. Too strong with the cross. Oh, we have 3.5 minutes to go. This 6 additional minutes. Mostly, I'm sure, attributable to the time when Richard Ofori was getting some repairs. Nice touch. Next team. Nondo. Good boy. In behind for Tueza. Head straight offside.
He's got a football brain, that boy. He spots the runner. Quality of the pass was good. It's just the timing of the run.
Sinetsi. Still he continues on. Ball given away. Hendrik Ekstein. Space here to exploit. Sitole on his outside. Just hold up on the wet turf. So, an opportunity here. Sitole Extern. Fasika sticks in a foot, still with AmaZulu. Sithole, Motswari.
Now they're in command. There's Ben Motswari. There's Brooks. Sithole offers them an option to get a goal. How is Abubakar Mubara? You look at him, he's playing on the right-hand side. At some point he was in the middle, he was a centre-back position. Quite a versatile player, just using his experience.
Sithole. Fasika came sliding across. Smakaringe down under the challenge of former Buccaneers youngster Sithole.
When you talk about Buccaneer, there was, I'll tell you now, let's have a look at this.
Something could materialize from this moment. Saretsi, he can hit them from range this time off target.
He's capable. And when I was talking about Sithole, I was talking about Manza Metro Blitz Sithole.
So that's it. At the King Zelatini Stadium, job done for AmaZulu. Cape Town City's woes continue. They have now lost their last 4 games in succession. They've conceded 8 goals over that period. And for AmaZulu, it's back-to-back victories, and they rise to 5th place on the table. Brian Mate, your thoughts?
Good game of football. Of course, I've always looked forward to 7 colors of football to be served. And we definitely were served. AmaZulu taking the lead, of course, in the first half. Had to defend their lead, they did that. Had to come and assert themselves again in the second half, they did exactly that. Not a good outing for Cape Town City. They looked disjointed, very shaky in terms of their defense, not more creative going forward. Not enough chances created as well in terms of attempts to get back into the game. Overall, give it to AmaZulu. They did well. Game plan, well executed. That includes the subs that they made.
Well, they've now lost all 5 away games under Musin Ertugrul. In fact, for Cape Town City, it's the first time in their history that they've lost 5 away in succession. They've also now been defeated on the road for a 9th time this season. Last season, 8 away defeats. 9 is the most they've ever suffered in a single league campaign. So some unwanted records realized today from a citizen's perspective, but all smiles for AmaZulu. It's a job well done. Another clean sheet. And AmaZulu are now chasing down faltering Polokwane City.